Coaches, appreciate you tuning in my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, feel free to scroll around the channel. I've got also a lot of information over at fbcoachsimpson.com, specifically the book that I'm going to be kind of talking about today, 98 shotgun wing formations and how to use them. I'm actually going to be basically going through page 1, which is our base formation, and kind of talking about how this creates an advantage. And you can kind of see in the rest of the book, it goes through all the different formations we get into. The book's pretty simple. It's going to go through and talk about advantages we can create, things to look for. I think it'll be a good resource for guys that either run, whether you run the gun tee or you run whatever. It may be a good resource to kind of go back and look at. Maybe it can give you some ideas. So wanted to talk real quickly about our base set, which we just call red. Strong right, red. We went with a color kind of theme. You could call it whatever you really wanted to. Red was simple for us because it has the letter R. And then when we go blue, everybody flips. So blue, strong left, red, strong right. A lot of wing tee teams, or really any offense, may only have a right and a left side of their line. If we lived in a world where all my linemen were built similar, then we probably would do the same. We're not in that world where I live, so we have kids that are just made different at the high school level. So we want to play to their strength. So that's one of the reasons that we do go with a strong right and a strong left. If you want a lot of depth on that, I've got plenty of resources, our O-line manual over at fbcoachsimpson.com and other things as well. But we want to go right and left for a couple reasons. One is ability, and then two is we now don't have to call right or left with our plays. So we have some plays that run strong, some plays that run quick, and it's easy for us to bounce back and forth, okay? We also are able to tag different guys on to what we want to do. So I'm talking about our base set, but then as you saw in that book, we have 98 other formations we can get into, and really that book could have been twice as long. I just kind of chose a number. I don't know why I ended up with 98. Went with that one that we can get into really quickly. But here's why we think the basis of the offense works. When you're looking at this formation, basically we feel like we're forcing the defense to essentially play us with a split field look. And so split field coverage is a new thing. It's been going around for probably the last 10 years or so, maybe more, but it's really caught on recently. But we're also, we feel, forcing the defense to not only play split field coverage, but also split field as far as the way they attack our offense and the run fits and their personnel. So what I mean by that is this. When you play a traditional wing tee, okay, or double wing or heavy kind of formation personnel grouping team, and they give you this look, is the way you want to attack that. And so teams are prepared to play double wing teams, flex bone teams, or even a traditional wing tee team, because they usually will make their whole defense function out to getting as many guys inside of this box looking at the run fit as possible, okay? With us, we feel like we're forcing you to do that on our strong side. To the right for us, or to the left, we're forcing you to, how are you going to handle, a four-man surface here? What are you going to do with your force player? How are you going to run your coverage over here? But it can't be the same as it is over here. So we're forcing you to basically play a split field. So are you going to try to play, maybe say you're a 3-4 too high team? Okay, well, you probably don't want to come out against us in a too high look with a corner overhang over there. If you do, then we're probably going to run the ball a lot. So we're forcing you now to change your defense. We're forcing you to adapt to what we want you to do. And a lot of times they may decide, okay, we're going to roll a strong safety down and play a one high look over here, or go man, or whatever it is. And we're making you play split field, obviously in your coverage, but also now in your run fits, okay? Your outside backer now is probably going to have to either condense down in a 3-4 or even get head up our tight end, okay? And then now we're almost forcing you to slant to the strong side if you're in a 3-4. Four front teams, same idea. We're going to try to force them to unbalance to us to stop our run game. And when we do that, we feel like we're gaining an advantage somewhere, okay? That might be through movements and shifts that we get into later on in the book, or it might be you got a kid who's uncomfortable, who's never played up here, who's now having to play up here, okay? We also want to be very simple with our kids. I think I've kind of hit on that. We want our kids to understand red is strong right, and we only run certain plays to the right. Okay, blue is strong left, and we're only going to run the same strong side plays that way. So our kids get multiple reps. If you play offensive line in this offense, we feel like you're only really having to learn essentially 6 or 7 concepts total. That's pass game, run game, screen game, all of it. Okay, and that's all you have to do. That allows us to be really good at doing the skills that we ask our kids to do. Block down, kick out, how we want to base block people. It gives our kids an opportunity. It's also very simple for our receivers because they understand there's some pretty simple things we do on that half of the field. When you package it together against a defense who's now having to play you kind of in a split field deal, they might have a good answer for this set. Maybe they can line up and split their defense out. If you line up in this set all game, they can make some adjustments. But when you start to sprinkle in 98 other formations for them, you're really putting a strain on how they're going to handle that. And that's kind of what the book walks through is, okay, if they're giving you an issue in our red formation, what about if you go to a flop, like a trips look? What are you creating there? What advantages can you gain? So that's kind of what the whole premise of the book is. I hope y'all will find it helpful. I'm excited about it. Again, you can also scroll through this channel. If books aren't your thing and you like video, should be plenty of information here. And there's also, of course, multiple materials I've got over at fbcoachsimpson.com. If you haven't done so already, appreciate it. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel.